The situation has never stabilized inside America since Trump took my second term along in anxiety in the country inside America. No, Bacon's hours are the result of the erotic statements of, there is controversy about what Trump launches, like the issue of invading or annexing Canada, like buying Greenland, like occupying the Panama Canal, like turning Gaza into a Riviera and displacing its people from it. Many controversial statements which may mean anxiety in American society, demonstrations, marches, sit-ins, and very many things. It is possible once, as a result of Musk's intense interference in the administration and the people's objection to this issue. It is possible as a result of laying off a very large number of state employees to reduce expenses. Of course, it is also a worrying work inside America. Sometimes there is concern in America about decisions that violate the Constitution, such as, for example, when he said that we will not grant citizenship to those born in America, and, for example, he does not want to run for a third term. This means that he announces unconstitutional needs in the country. The people did not accept this. The matter is in Pythor decisions. It is also like depriving universities of financial support or scholarships under the pretext that they are, for example, anti-Semitic, and ours he does this with large universities such as Harvard, for example, the establishment of institutes, or that the university has a specific political orientation that is contrary to Trump's orientation, so he prevents them from its scholarships, scientific scholarships, and this, of course, something that is also contrary to American custom is also possible. Some concern as a result of its closure of some global relief organizations, American support for relief organizations. I sold a very large number of countries in the world by stopping reducing expenses. Of course, this will greatly affect America's relations with the world. There has been a near revolution in America. Disobedience to Trump and collective disobedience, 12 states united together, if they filed a lawsuit against Trump, if he was unconstitutional and illegal. He's walking on his mood and on his whim, far from the steps of the law, let the last call, raising it because of customs duties. This is what he imposed on about 2 countries in the world. Of course, the changes as a result of this issue were very large. Prosecutors from 12 American states met and filed a case with the American Court of International Trade in New York, and they said that those who worked with Trump on the issue of tariffs, this is illegal because it did not scratch the approval of Congress, of course. Trump invoked the emergency law, and we previously presented an episode on the subject. They say that the emergency law should not be invoked in such a situation. The emergency law is old, from the 70s. They said that it is a law that is not suitable for this situation in which we are in, and this means that you are harming this emergency law by using it in an inappropriate way, and therefore it works on its mood and gives it a form, but it is an apparent law from the outside, but the act itself is illegal, and that also the action that he did was not anything but overlooked. No, it affected the economy, had a very big impact, created chaos economic in the country, and raise prices directly on all transactions, even if they are small transactions. America's relations with the countries of the world have been affected by a very large escalation, and they are not united on this issue. California's escalation is more severe and more severe than all of the 12 states. A very strange escalation that happened from California, and it is unprecedented. California's governor, of course, its governor is from the Democratic Party, not a Republican like him. Trump said he was calling on countries around the world to establish strong ties with California, not with America. It's my life. In the sense of the world, he deals individually and asks the world if he does not impose additional customs duties on him as a result of the customs duties that Trump imposed on their countries. If he wants to remain an economic unit separate from America, and he deals with the world in this way, of course it is a strange picture, because in the end, the decisions that are taken by the country as an American country, the American army, the American administration, and American finance are everything, but California's economy is very, very huge, and it is beginning. It is as if it is threatening to secede, and before that, we also have an episode in which we talked about the issue of California's secession and their dreams of secession and their vote on this issue. The pain that is expected is expected. This is everything. I have signs of revolution. If this issue occurs in the other 12 states or in the rest of the states, the issue will remain very big. And keep in mind that all of this coincides with China's escalation. China has raised 125% of taxes on American products entering China. This has an impact on a very, very large number of American companies, and it has an impact on even ordinary individuals. It has an impact on farmers, and it has an impact on producers of materials, because China was considered one of the main markets for some American companies. And not only that, what China did to drag the world, let the world take its steps, it is also retaliatory steps from America as a result of the tariffs. Let it go. A country like Canada is now also raising the tariffs on US imports to the EU. Work the same tale. These are old American partnerships. This is what Trump is doing. He is dismantling the traditional American partnerships with some countries of the world, such as the European Union, Canada, or other countries. The countries, and of course this may affect America's global position. This great disintegration that occurs to partnerships may have an impact on the events that occur in the world. The tensions that we see here, or there is tension in Ukraine and the EU against Russia. There is great tension, for example, right now in India and Pakistan. This tension may affect the position of America. I mean, for example, India and Pakistan. India is one of the countries that has relations with all the great powers. Why does it have strong economic relations with China? Why does it have strong military relations with Russia? And why does it also have relations with America? The result is that America imposed 26% excess customs duties on India. In this recent period, India may abandon its leaning towards Russia or China when there is an escalation in the position of India and Pakistan, and thus America loses one of the main powers in the region, and this, of course, is something that may affect the future. When it also comes, it analyzes the 12 states that are opposed to America in the quasi-revolution or disobedience that we see. By the way, the word disobedience is used in the New York Times and in the American newspapers that analyze the issue. I mean, they are actually indebted to this issue. Why is this large size? Because when you look at the 12 states, 10 of them have prosecutors who are Democrats, meaning from the Democratic Party, and a Democrat competing with Trump's Republican Party, meaning the 10 states of New York, Illinois, Maine, Minnesota, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, and Oregon, the 10 prosecutors, including Dolet. Democrats, and therefore do you see medicine in two other Republicans, Vermont and Nevada? You see the situation like this as a clear division in American society. Of course, throughout the lifetime of American history, there has been a competition between Democrats and Republicans for the presidency, the houses of representatives, I mean all the localities and everything, but the division was not like this. You see that they gather together to make an invitation. Judicial exclusion of Trump from leadership as if it were a kind of disobedience or rebellion against him, similar to what Trump did in the year 21, January 6, 21, when he stormed the Capitol. And his supporters, that is, they object to Biden's success in the elections, but they are doing it now legally. The Democrats are walking within the limits of the law a little, unlike the Republicans who squirted, taking steps that involve violence or that involve a clear violation of the Constitution and the law, but in the end they are trying to get out of the cloak of the president was originally elected with a majority in the previous elections. All of this leads to a major defect in the American system and a possible revolution. It has a very large negative impact on the country, and of course the presence of two Republican states, which is the state of Nevada, a state in the country. This row is in the 12th, or the objector is also a dangerous and precedent sign, because no Republican had previously objected to Trump, and all of this coincided with the decline in the American people's acceptance of the level of the Trump administration. The latest poll conducted said that only 42% of the American people are satisfied with the performance. Trump is the least friendly he can reach. Before that, there were 47, and before that, there were 52 workers over time. As a result of these decisions taken by our brothers and sisters at the time, which the world is looking at, about the increased customs duties, even if they are a burden on his shoulders. Perhaps these customs duties and perhaps these decisions that he took, it has a negative impact on me. Trump deters him from some evil, which means spreading it in various countries of the world and perhaps harmful and beneficial.